What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I am, of course, your host, Reckless Rexx Ruger. That, of course, is the Freddie Mercury puppet. This is another incredible episode. It's what we do, kids, and we ain't about to change it now. Before we get to it, as I do every episode, I will address the proverbial elephant in the room because I know you're all thinking it. You're looking at the smoldering good looks, the luscious blonde rock star locks. I will confirm for you that indeed you are looking at the one and only love child that we know of one Diamond David Lee Roth. Now it's out there, the air is cleared, and we can get down to brass tacks. It has been a minute, folks. I've been away, took a little vacation down south of the border way. Me and the wife hit up Mexico. So it's been a hot minute here since I've put up any new content. It feels good to be back in the studio. Feels good to be back with you guys. Feels good to have a great interview on the docket, which we will get to un momento. See, I've been down in Mexico, boning up on my Spanish. And I'm happy to say that here we are. This is my first, I believe, official episode of 2026. And feels good to be firing it up another year, bringing you guys what I think is amazing conversations with some of the most incredibly talented people, in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of many. So before my guest gets in here, and I'm super excited, this is a great way to kick it off, man. This podcast is known for hard rock and metal, and my guest today, Tony Portaro and Whiplash, East Coast fellas. They've been doing it and doing it right since really the inception of thrash metal as we know it, in my opinion, again. And a great band with some exciting stuff on the horizon here coming out in the very near future, which I will let Tony elaborate on. But before he gets in here, let me do my shameless promotional plug, because as you all know, if you have a podcast, you must pimp it. My pimp hand, it's been resting for a while. It's well rested and ready for action. So I'm going to give this a shot. Here we go. Make sure to tap into Pod Scum on Facebook. Our handle, do not be confused, got two separate shows, one Facebook page. The handle is Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. So for you pugilism fans, we got you covered with Off the Couch Boxing. For you rock and metal maniacs, we got you covered right here on Pod Scum. You could be tapped in with both of those shows on that Facebook page and find out the who, what, where, when, why, the 411 on that page. Same handle on Instagram if you want to peep us over there, Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. Both of those platforms, incredible. Love them both. Instagram, you can check out amazing reels, little snippets of these conversations. Facebook, of course, you can keep up to speed on when new episodes are dropping, who's going to be on the episodes. Plus, I like to throw lots of other fun stuff on there. So it's not just about promoting the podcast. Anything that I find newsworthy, noteworthy, that I want to share with you guys in the boxing world, in the entertainment world, whatever. So lots of cool shit going on. But if you really want the full meat and potatoes, you want to watch the entire conversation, this right here, where you are right now watching me, is where you need to be. Our YouTube channel, Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum, here on YouTube. If you are here right now, please, I invite you to like, subscribe, and most importantly, smash that notification bell to stay tapped in. My guest is here. I'm ready to get down to it, man. So here we go. Let's rock another episode. Let's do it. Back in the swing of things. And it feels good to be back in the swing of things. I'll tell you that. Tony. We'll get him up here in a second. Got to get the camera and the microphone up. Check, check, check. Do we got you, Tony? I will let him know to enable. And of course, none of this will be edited out, folks. You know where I stand on editing. Doesn't happen. Can't do it. Won't do it. We keep it raw, real, and unfiltered the way it should be. That's rock and roll right there. Or go out and pop back on. Hopefully we'll get them on here, though, folks. You know, we battle, we struggle with technical issues. There's no crying in podcasting. We've established that many moons ago. We've been through it all, through the ringer. Many technical issues have abounded, and we always find a way. And Tony just popped out. I told him to pop back on. Sometimes the camera and the mic isn't enabled right away. You know, we're at the mercy. We're at the mercy of the ether. So it's all we can do. We got to roll with the punches. It's all we can do, really. So again, while we're waiting for Tony to pop back on here, I will again remind you, if you're here on the channel, please like, please subscribe, and please smash that notification bell. Tony, how's it going, man?
Hey, there you
now
are.
I got you. Now I got you. You know what, man? Having a podcast is just so frustrating, man. We haven't quite ironed out all the wrinkles of technology yet.
Oh, we got it working now. That's
we got it working out. We got it working out. Really, man, this is my first interview of 2026, man. So I'm very pleased that it's you. I appreciate you doing it.
Oh man, thanks. I feel honored.
Yeah. I was just telling my viewers before you popped on here that I was down south of the border in Mexico for the last couple of weeks. So and I didn't really bone up on my Spanish at all. I'm kind of upset to say that I learned absolutely nothing.
Oh, you're on vacation?
It's kind of a vacation, and kind of me and my wife are both nurses. We work in the healthcare field. Needed some dental work done. That's the place to go.
Okay, yeah. You know, I had a problem with my eyes. I had pink eye in both eyes, and I had a show in Mexico coming up.
Okay.
And I was sleeping here in North Carolina, and I was having a nightmare that there was a bomb coming, and as soon as one of my cats jumped on my chest, and I woke up and scratched my cornea with my thumb. And so I had a scratched cornea on top of two pink eye in both eyes. And then I decided I was going to do the Mexican show anyway. I could hardly see. I could hardly open my eyes. Yeah. I went to the emergency room up here. They gave me some medicine that didn't do crap. I went to Mexico to do the show. I walked in this little, like, hallway size thing, and this doctor there with no appointment or anything. For $3 and change, he gave me these eye drops and stuff that worked. So it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. It worked, and I did the show, and everything was fine. But yeah, here they screwed up in the emergency room, and God knows if I didn't have insurance, how much it would have cost me.
Oh yeah,
down there, $3 and change, and it fixed my eyes.
Yeah, the moral of the story is, man, healthcare a lot better sometimes in other countries, and also the moral I think to that story is, man, for rock and metal fans, man, the show must go on, man. You soldiered through. Yeah,
you know it. Yeah,
you got it. Now. I talk to so many artists on here doing as many episodes as I have, and I find that a common theme with a lot of them, not everybody, but a lot of artists, people that get into the creative field, come from upbringings where maybe there's a lot of music playing in the house, or musically proficient parents, lots of records playing, whatever. Was this the case for you?
Yeah, somewhat. My parents were into music. Frank Sinatra, Roy Orbison, I remember they played a lot.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, yeah, definitely.
I mean, but they were musicians themselves.
Gave me my first electric guitar when I was 5 years old. So that was pretty cool. My parents.
Your parents did. Okay. So that was going to be my next question. So 5 years old is when you first get a guitar in your hands.
Yeah, electric tight scope, one of them Sears models.
Yeah. And would you say that your guitar journey has been self-taught? Were there lessons involved along the way?
I took private lessons as I was growing up, probably from about age 13. But I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston, and I learned more there in the first 2 years than I did in any private lesson. But I always tell everyone it's better to keep switching teachers so you pick up like the things you'll use most from each different teacher, and
Yeah.
that benefited me a lot also.
Yeah. So you're growing up hearing your parents' music, but do you remember the first album or artist, or maybe it was a song that really got you really kickstarted and motivated to want to do this for a career?
I think as a band, it was probably Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I can't really pick one individual song. I remember back then I had one of those Columbia House tape
Oh yes. Sure.
from like TV Guide, and you would
Yep.
get all. I had like Jethro Tull and
Yeah.
Ted Nugent Free for All and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. All for a penny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pick
Remember
a
that?
bunch of them for you pick a bunch of them for a penny, and then you just never follow up ever. I think every kid in America probably did that in our era.
Right.
So how do you make the jump into the more heavier side of music? Do you remember? Obviously, Black Sabbath, is a good jumping off point. But obviously, what you've done with Whiplash is obviously taking it like a step further. Obviously, with thrash. Was there another artist somewhere between Black Sabbath and what you do that really got you motivated to do the heavier stuff?
I think I was always into like the aggressive, powerful, fast stuff. And coming out of Berkeley in like 1980, 81, I started writing music once I got out of college, and with a band in the area where I lived in New Jersey. And then it kind of progressed to when I met Tony Scaglione through a college radio station. And once we got together and ironed things out, we really got into that San Francisco Bay Area sound with Metallica and Exodus and Possessed and bands like that. When we did our first show in Berkeley, California, that was after the first album, Power and Pain, came out. But yeah, I think it was that Bay Area style that really influenced us a lot. And when I mixed that with the theory that I learned at Berklee College of Music, and then you have that East Coast kind of stuff that was in our blood, it kind of mixed everything up and turned into what Power and Pain ended up being.
Yeah, the Bay Area thrash metal scene is so legendary, man. But make no mistake, because I'm in upstate New Yorker too, man. We have a very great metal scene here on the East Coast as well. A lot of great bands have come out of here. I don't know if they get the notoriety. Obviously, Anthrax is among the big four as we know them. But
yeah, that's the first one that came to mind when you said that, Anthrax. Sure.
Yeah. But I always think that, I always like to see, for instance, like a band like Overkill, 21 albums into their career, been so consistent. Maybe not always mentioned with those other bands, but I mean, a perfect example of a band that's really just kept their foot on the gas and been consistent their whole career.
Yeah, they were 21 albums. Wow.
I think that's what they're into. Yeah, they either just released the last one was either 20 or 21, but that's a deep catalog.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like there's any let up from them either. You know what I mean? Someone on here recently said in an interview, though, man, that heavy metal, though, really is an old man's game, for lack of a better term right now. All the older bands, the elder statesmen of the metal scene, are really still out there doing it to a high degree.
Yeah, it's sort of like there's the older generation like us guys, and then there's the new kids that are really young, and there's no one in between. I don't know why that is.
Yeah. Oftentimes I'll go on the streaming platforms and I'll look for newer thrash bands, and even when someone suggests a newer thrash band, you look and they've been around for 15 or 20 years.
Yeah.
Doesn't really seem like there's anybody new. So when you guys as a band get together, what's typically the creative process like? Because you are the founding member, the only static member that still remains and has remained through all these years. Do you take the lion's share of the responsibility when it comes to creating, or is it collaborative? Do you open that door for the other members of the band?
There was a time when I did, but I've been doing it all myself now. I wrote Power and Pain all myself, and then started evolving and sharing the writing with the other band members. But now that I've moved out of New Jersey, I'm down in North Carolina for 3 years now, and I pretty much write everything in my project studio, and then I'll do it with a program called Strike in Pro Tools,
Okay.
and just build the drums myself, and then take it to the other guys and say, here's what I'm looking for, and I'll finish the song completely before I even bring them into the picture lately.
Okay.
And all 10 songs on this new album were done like that.
Okay. And throughout the career of Whiplash, you guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have always been a trio, right? Always been a three-piece.
3 on the first album. I never really wanted to sing, and I don't like my voice at all, but it seems like the overwhelming response was people want Whiplash as a 3-piece and prefer my voice, even though I don't like it. So I'm just doing it to give them what they want. But after the first album, Ticket to Mayhem, I had a singer. We went to 4-piece. When Glenn Hansen came in on Insult to Injury. And then eventually I even ended up a 5-piece at one point when I brought Warren Candidi in as a second guitarist. And that was on the Sit, Stand, Kneel, Pray album, and on Cult of One also. But Sit, Stand, Kneel, Pray was like some of my favorite 2 guitar work that I've ever done. And Warren was a great guitar player, and I would have never had any other guitar player in the band that wasn't at least as good as me. And Warren was great, and some of the stuff we did on Sit, Stand, Kneel, Pray, I'm really proud of, and it was so much fun to do some of those guitar harmonies live, and that was really really enjoyable, and I'm really proud of that work that we did together.
Yeah. And you mentioned, the fact that you never really wanted to be a vocalist, but given the fact that you are the vocalist and, you're using your throat as another instrument, and you are playing aggressive music, do you ascribe to any type of vocal care routine, or are you just a guy that can just get up there and just belt it out? Are you a warm-up guy, or any kind of techniques for your voice?
No, I don't. And it's weird because I can't really get into singing without a PA and without all that power behind me.
Yeah.
And it's probably something that I should have done. I should have took lessons and really learned breathing techniques and all of that. But I just go out there and belt it out. As soon as I have that PA in front of me and that power behind me, it's me and the guitar against the world. And I don't really take care of my voice. And sometimes, like on these long tours, so we're going out in 10 days for 27 shows in Europe and in the UK, and it takes its toll. After, I have to really be careful and not get into heavy, in-depth conversation for too many hours during the day to really preserve my voice.
Yeah.
Because it's not all really singing, it's pretty much screaming half of the time.
Yeah. And now, what is your relationship like, at your age, this far into the business, for as many years you have been? What's your relationship like with touring? Because obviously records don't sell the way they used to. It is a vital, important part of what you do. But I'm sure it's obviously great seeing the world, getting to travel, but probably leaving your creature comforts, in the confines of home for long periods of time can also probably be, a pain in the ass, for lack of a better word. What's your relationship like? What's a comfortable itinerary for you now touring at this stage of your career?
Well, you're right. I mean, I'm gonna be 65. Is gonna be my birthday on February 26th, and I'll be celebrating in Dublin, Ireland this year.
Nice.
But it doesn't get any easier at this age, and 27 shows in a row in 30 days. I've only done 28 shows in 30 days twice, and that was probably about 20 years ago. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not going to be easy. We did 15 shows with Violence. I think it was probably 2 years ago already, and with Destruction, we went out with them also in Europe and did about the same amount. But yeah, it's definitely a job. I mean, it's fun and it's work at the same time. It comes with all the glory,
Right.
which is nice. And but yeah, it's definitely work. But it's fun. Yeah.
Is there a set number of weeks that you like to be out? Is there a comfortable working number? Like I've heard a lot of musicians on here saying that when they hit that 3 or 4 week part, you know what I mean? Like that's when they're kind of ready to pack it in, man. That seems like a long enough tour nowadays.
Well, yeah, years ago, and I probably, well, these venues we're doing this time are pretty big.
Yeah.
But years ago, when we went out, like the first tour we did with Sodom, we were playing venues that had an attendance of about 500 people. So
Right.
if you times that by like 28, it's probably about 14,000 people or something like that. But but now, my favorite thing to do is like fly out on a Friday, play a festival for 30 or 60,000 people, and be home on Sunday.
Yeah, come home. Yeah.
So you're hitting twice as many people in one show than you're doing in a month, you know?
Right.
Those are my favorite. Fly in, one-offs, do a festival, come back home and kick back and relax or write more music.
Yeah. Now, what makes the most sense nowadays? Because the way people consume music nowadays is different. We're seeing artists going back to releasing singles or EPs, smaller bodies of work, because the world is such a busy place. People are on their devices. Their attention spans are not what they once were. People are just listening differently. They're making playlists. They're taking songs that they like from albums. Does an LP still make sense for Whiplash? Or, do you still like doing a fully realized album?
I'll be able to tell you in about 8 weeks because the
Okay.
new album's coming out on
Okay.
March 6th. But yeah, I think it helps. And you know what you're saying, I really noticed too, like when it comes to online, media campaign that I started on January 1st this year to promote the album. And a lot of my fans are on Facebook still, and it's a lot different than the fans that I have on Instagram.
Right.
And the younger fans want everything really fast, and you have to shorten everything,
Yeah.
your captions,
Yep.
and even if you're coming up with like a video or a carousel or a reel on Instagram, you want to keep them tight and shorter and come out with a punch to the face real fast, you know?
No doubt. Yep.
But Facebook is a little more lenient that way. So it kind of ties into what you were just saying.
And so what can fans expect with the new release in March, though? It is a full album, a full LP.
Yeah, 10 songs, one
Okay.
instrumental.
Okay.
I went to NYU for audio production with Pro Tools.
Okay.
So I'm producing this whole album myself and releasing it independently.
Okay.
So it's very polished. It's not like a raw live recording. I think the songwriting is a lot like the old school stuff, but the recording itself is polished. So you're really going to hear what was going on in my head, and it transferred right to the music with no middleman, which I like, because every thought that I had in my head went directly to the recording without anyone in between. So every note and everything is exactly what I want on there, and I think people are going to really appreciate that. On the other hand, I'm a little bit afraid that people that really like the less produced old school stuff you know, I'm hoping they really fall in love with this too, but there's a chance I might lose maybe the appreciation from 10% of maybe my fans, but I think I will gain another 50% or more on top
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
because it sounds so tight.
Yeah. And I think if you're going to lean one way or another, you probably did lean in the right direction, because I do think nowadays, with all the advances in technology and what you're capable of doing, that people have gotten used to hearing their music much more polished nowadays, because, because you can eradicate those mistakes that you used to make back in the 60s and 70s that you couldn't hide as easily. You know what I mean? I think people, I think people do appreciate it. Yeah. There, as you said, there'll be old school people that, you know what I mean, like, still like the imperfections, or you know what I mean, or to hear not everything, but not sound so polished. But I think modern day music fans have realized, if they're real fans, that this is the direction that we've moved in, and that you can really make things sound incredible nowadays. Why not embrace it?
It's really tight and sharp, but yet I didn't lose any of the humanity in it. So
Yeah,
that was,
that's important.
I kept that in there. I captured that at the same time. So it worked out pretty nice in my opinion.
And now, is this your first foray into trying to produce an album, or have you done it in the past?
Yeah, I never produced from beginning to end on my own with every note, every single thing on this album, except I had a Jamie King mix and master. I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
always
he's great. Yeah.
oh cool, you know. So
I know him. I know him because I actually have a high school friend of mine who plays in a thrash band. He's from upstate New York. He has relocated and now lives down in North Carolina. I did get to see him the last time I was down there because my in-laws live down in North Carolina. He plays in a great thrash metal band down there called Outlier. And
I met him. I met a guy from Outlier down here at a festival. There was a festival. What was it called? Some kind of chainsaw something mess.
Yeah, so you probably met Ray.
He kind of tall guy.
Yeah, long hair. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So he's down in, my in-laws are in Cary. He's in Apex, and he's been down there. He's been down there for a while, and he doesn't do it for a living. He works down there in the accounting field, but he still is passionate about thrash music. They still make albums. They've worked, with Jamie. I don't know if they've worked on all their albums with him, but I know the last couple, though, he's been involved with.
Wow, I didn't know that. And we were talking for a while.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
And so this is your first new album in how long, if I'm not mistaken? Easily 10 plus, 15 years?
Like 17.
17. Okay, yeah. So 2009. So obviously nowadays there's websites all over the place that review albums. Are you nervous when a new album comes out? Are you a big one for looking at feedback and criticism? Like when you put a new project out, will you go online and peruse what people are saying about it?
I don't go looking for it, but I do end up seeing a lot of responses. I'm not worried about it, and I never was, because we've been lucky that way, where we normally get like a 4 out of 5 star ratings on 9 out of 10 times. But those ones that cut you up, and they really hit you hard, you know. It's like I put all this work into it, and this one person is saying like that. I can't believe it. And now, what did I do wrong? Right. So much. It's emotional. It really gets to you, you know.
Yeah. And so when you write these songs and pour all this into it, man, what is your own individual creative process like? Like I've kind of had two schools of thought on here talking with various guests. There's the people that just kind of get sparks of creativity throughout the day. Maybe they're jotting stuff down or humming something into their phone or recording a quick riff. Or there's people that sit down almost like punching a clock. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to write some songs right now and treat it more workmanlike, more like a job. How do you create?
I would say more like 80%, where I'm like, all right, I'm going to pick up that guitar and write a song right now. Yeah. And then I'll start probably with a riff, then build a drum beat behind it, try a couple different drum beats, and use the software in Pro Tools called Strike that is blended in with Pro Tools. It works seamlessly. And then I'll end up writing the whole song and rearranging it, which is so easy in Pro Tools too, cutting and pasting, moving a chorus or a verse wherever you want it, then put the rhythm behind the lead. Sometimes I'll put 3 or 4 different rhythms behind the lead. It's almost like a song in a song. And then I'll bring it to my drummer and the bass player and say, here's the song once it's finished. And writing the lyrics is something that's really where the work comes in, because I don't have as much fun writing lyrics as I do
Right.
writing and recording the music.
Right. Right.
But that's where I would consider it a job. But I've been lucky that way too. I'm pretty good at it, and I think it worked out especially good on this album because I had a partner doing 7 of the songs with me. I did 2 on my own, and including the title track, Thrashquake, and there's 1 instrumental on the album also.
And when you do the producing, and you jump into that role, is it kind of, baptism by fire, on the job training? Did you look over someone's shoulder? Did you apprentice? Did you just pick up things throughout the years of watching stuff being done in the studio? How did you know how to do this process? Trial and error?
It's a combination of all of that. Plus, I took 2 courses of audio production with Pro Tools at NYU in the city. And without that, I don't think I would have been able to do it. But now I know the ins and outs of Pro Tools, and it's a lot better knowing it than just getting the software and learning from YouTube videos when you have a teacher that's really good. And I had a guy, Rick Van Benshow, who actually does the sound on all the ABC TV show, sports shows, like the commercials, like when you'll see a commercial for PGA golf or something, he'll add the sound of the swinging of the golf club and it hitting the ball, or the bouncing of the basketball for the college basketball commercials and stuff like that. And he's in a band and writes music. So what a great teacher he was in NYU, and I picked up a lot from there.
Yeah.
And without that, I wouldn't have been able to produce this album myself.
And now, getting back to people's attention spans having dwindled, one thing that I see whenever I look at albums being reviewed, it seems like these days, something that seems to come up in every review, and reviewers really seem to hone in on it, is the length of the album. How many minutes an album comes in at. When you're creating, is that something that you consciously think about? You know what I mean? You mentioned that it's 10 songs. Do you worry about how many minutes it's going to come in at? Because it seems like long gone are the days where people are going to sit down, if they are going to listen to an album, and listen to like a 70-minute Metallica album, 80-minute Metallica album, like we used to get back in the days. It seems like people want everything lean and trim nowadays if they are going to listen to it from start to finish, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. Do you think about that when you're making the album?
I do, but not really consciously while I'm making it. On this, I think Power and Pain was about 35 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
And that was the probably the most popular Whiplash album. And this one is like 38 minutes, I think. But I did have another song on it that I put on the shelf for a while. I still want to tweak it, but all 10 of these songs are completely done and right where I want them to be. So it wasn't like I really had only 30 minutes and I had a right to make that 38-minute mark or 40 or 45. I had a collection of songs that I really liked and one that I wasn't completely happy with. So it's going to have to I'm going to have to dig back into it and rip it apart and fix it up until it's something that I really enjoy and appreciate and that I'm proud of, like I am of these 10 songs.
So how many songs do you usually come into the studio with? You know, you put 10 on there, but do you come in with more than you need and trim it back a little bit? And the second part to that is, uh, you know, how do you decide what makes the cut? Like, are you the deciding factor? Do you bounce stuff off the other guys in the band? You know, do you come in with like 15 songs and trim it down to 10?
I don't intentionally do that, but like in this case, I had like 12, 11 or 12, and one just wasn't ready for me. But yeah, I'm the one that pretty much decides on all the editing and everything on this album and on the first album. But yeah, there was one song that's not going to be on this album, but it could be in the future. And I'm also working on two more at this time. But with the tour coming up, I leave in 9 days. I think I'm flying out of here. So pretty much not going to be doing too much writing on the road, I don't think, because I'm going to have to be keeping on top of the online media stuff and keep the campaign rolling
Yeah.
and with all the stuff that comes involved with touring, like I change strings every other day on the road, so that's another piece of time on both guitars that I'm gonna have to keep up with. And I just bought another guitar today. I got to pick it up in New Jersey right before we leave. I got a black BC Rich Bitch,
Oh,
which is
nice.
going to be my new backup guitar. I'm going to
Okay.
retire. I'm going to retire this one.
The guitar is getting retired. All right.
My 78 SG.
And now, how do you decide when a guitar gets retired? Like, why will that guitar be retired? Is it just doesn't sound good anymore, or you just want a fresh start with a new guitar?
It wasn't really only my choice. Also, TSA made a choice when they took this bite mark out of the back of the neck over here.
Okay. Yep.
It had to be TSA. I mean, I could still play it, but this guitar's been around the
To the
world.
ringer. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well used.
it's a 1978 Gibson SG. I'm the original owner. I bought it on 48th Street in Manhattan, and it only cost, you're not going to believe this, with tax, $336 I paid for it.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
played it so much and for so many years that even the finish is worn off the back
Yeah.
of the neck.
Yeah. That's
But
yeah.
it treated me good. So before it gets any more pain inflicted on it, I'm gonna leave it up here
Yeah.
on the wall.
Call it a day. Yeah, call it a day. And so you know, you've mentioned a couple times in the interview the debut album Power and Pain, which is this year, well, as last year, what turned 40. I mean, is that just a mind fuck for you, man? Does that boggle your mind that you have an album out that is 40 years old?
It is, yeah. You know, I don't feel my age, so
Right.
but yeah. And at the time when Power and Pain came out, we had no idea how popular it would be. You know, we were just doing what we like doing, and I guess we did it well because it was pushed the right way at the time, and we were pretty much shocked when years later, you know, we realized how popular it was. So that was just a benefit of it all, but we were just doing what we loved doing at the time.
Now, obviously, in the rock and metal world, you will see bands oftentimes, you know, have lots of personnel changes in different lineups. Talk to me a little bit about the lineup you have right now and what these guys like bring to the table.
I had well, Will, the bass player, got in the band because I was really into his band, who's still coming out with new stuff. He's still working a lot with Thonatotic Desire.
Okay.
But and I actually brought them to Japan when we did 2 shows in Osaka, and they opened up for Whiplash. But there was at one point where my acting bass player at the time couldn't do a show, so Will learned all the stuff in 10 days, and I was just so happy with his performance, and and I was always friends with him and enjoyed what he did and loved his work. And he just seemed like the perfect fit at the time, so I kept him in the band. And then when I moved to from New Jersey to North Carolina 3 years ago, I was looking for a drummer down here to work with, and I narrowed it down to who I think was the best choice after all is Mitch Hall from down here, who's worked with several bands, including Soften the Glare. I don't know if
Yep.
you've heard of.
I've had Mitch on. I had Mitch on last year. I think I had Mitch on shortly or right around the time it was announced that he was the new Whiplash drummer.
Wow,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. He'll be coming to Jersey. We're flying together on Tuesday to make it up there for 2 rehearsals before we go out on the road.
Yeah. Now you've seen so many lineup changes though, man. Like, I mean, like what's important right now at this stage of your career? Like, the most important aspects of having band members now. Is it really just at this point, just being drama free and just having cohesion and getting along with each other?
Yeah, I'm always working with top level notch musicians. So we don't really rehearse that much at all. Like,
Yeah.
everyone will do their homework and learn the stuff that I give them, and then we'll get in the studio like Mitch did and lay his drum tracks down. And before we go out on the road, like I'm only gonna have 2 or 3 rehearsals before these 27 shows. So, and I always say that 1 live show is equal to 10 rehearsals. So
Yeah.
after that first show in Cologne, Germany, it'll feel like we rehearsed 13 times. That first one might need a little tweaking, but after that, I think everything's going to fall right into place. And by the time we get back here after the 27 shows, we're going to be so tight we could do it with our eyes closed.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be doing a couple local shows here in New Jersey, in North Carolina that we have never played here before. So that'll be good. And then we also have the Maryland Death Fest and Sci Fest in LA. So there's going to be some stuff happening once we get back locally. So that'll be nice for the first time. So,
and when you play music as aggressive as you play it, obviously, when you're playing in the live setting, again, there's a physicality to what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're playing heavy music. You're getting into it. There's headbanging involved. How has you mentioned you have a birthday coming up. You look fantastic. How has your body held up over all the years, man? Have you got little nagging injuries and health issues over the course of time? I mean, I'm 53, or I'm about to be. I have a birthday next week as well. So you
happy birthday.
Thank you. You do start to feel like there's certain things that you can't quite do the way you used to do. How have you held up over all these years and playing out live?
I'm pretty lucky so far. I do still give it my all and sweat my ass off
Sure.
and we make it from both sides of the stage. We're always running back and forth. So
Right.
I'm still able to do that. I tore my rotator cuff a while back, so I'm still tending to that. In fact, on Friday, I'm going for another cortisone shot just to make sure that I'm not in pain while I'm on stage for this.
Right.
This
Good
month.
idea. Yeah.
So, and my doctor's really cool. He plays guitar also, so
He sympathizes. He's empathetic with the he understands the cause. So here we are, 2026. Why did right now feel like you mentioned 16, 17 years since the last album, man? Why was right now the right time?
Well, I love writing music. I think that's in my blood. So, and once I started writing, I three of these songs are like 10 years old.
Okay.
So I changed them a lot. I went in and switched choruses around and did a lot of work on them to get them where I wanted to be for this album. But the 7 other songs are new. So What was your question again? I'm getting off track. I'm sorry.
But why 2026, man? After all these years, man, all this hiatus without any new music,
Oh,
why
yeah.
right now did it feel like the right time?
Yeah, once I put had them three songs, and then decided, all right, I'm gonna write more. And then I've seen how it was developing and had 5 or 6. I'm like, I don't want to release an EP. I don't want to do 5 songs because it's been so long,
Yeah,
17 years. You
yeah,
know, I think people would be disappointed after that long of a wait if all I released was 5 songs. So um, I was able to continue once I got into that mode of writing, and it just seemed to be flowing. I just kept doing it and made it to the point where I did have like 45 minutes worth of material. And then I just cut that one song out because it just didn't seem ready and be up to the standards of the other songs. So it ended up with the 38 minutes. But yeah, it was just the ball was rolling, everything was flowing really smoothly, and I think it's because I'm in a really good place in my life right now, and capturing this moment of time where everything is like really good, and I'm on a natural high, and it I couldn't release just a single here and a single there or an
right.
EP. So it had to be a full length album because of the time in between the last one and now.
And now, for fans that might want to know the hiatus, the time between new albums, was that deliberate? I mean, was it your intention for it to be 17 years between albums, or did the timing just not feel right? For fans that want to know, why haven't we gotten more activity, more albums from Whiplash? What would you say to those fans?
I wish I could do one every year, but that was impossible. But I also was working for a telecom company for 21 years
Yeah.
and using all my vacation time to tour
Yep.
and writing music at night and then recording on my days off. And I wish I could have had albums out more frequently, but it never seemed to be less than 2 years apart.
Right.
But yeah, and then I got fed up with the music business when we kind of grew out of doing it just for fun and glory when all the money was coming in and the record company was taking it all. It turned
Right.
into a business,
Sure.
and we were the ones working and not making anything out of it. So that was discouraging, and I took a long hiatus from that just to really get out of the record contract. But then yeah, but one good thing about the telecom company I worked for, though, I was in the union, and that company paid for any kind of courses or classes you took. So they actually paid for me to go to NYU
Yeah.
and for the audio production courses that I took, which was awesome. And that was like a real good benefit from. Plus, they set me up with a great pension, and I retired, and now I'm doing music full time. So it's really the first time in my life that I've been had all day and night to do it when I want, so
So
it's
fans, so it would be safe to say though that the message to fans would be, now that music can be focused on full time, that it won't be that many years now between Whiplash projects.
I hope not. If I live through this 27 show tour, then I actually have a plan to do something, another release in June, July, but we'll see how that works. I don't want to really say too much about it
Understood.
now because if it doesn't happen, it'll be disappointing.
Right.
But hopefully I'll be able to announce something not long after, a month or so after we get back from the tour, which would come back March 1st. The album's going to be released worldwide March 6th. So April or May, I should be able to announce something big.
Okay. Great. And you mentioned doing this all independently, putting this out independently. For fans that might not understand what that means, what I mean? So there's not backing from a label. There's not help with distribution or promotion or any of that type of stuff. This is all on the onus is all on you.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And, and believe me, between writing the songs, recording it, and your engineering, your producing, you're writing lyrics, in the online campaign that I'm doing, and I figured out one day, I sat down mixing and mastering it. I'm not really taking care of Jamie's doing that, but I figured I'm doing like the job of 12 people right
Right.
now. So,
Right.
so now I have the time to do it. It's not easy, and when you jump from doing one job to another, and then you have to go back and forth and spread yourself out, it's pretty difficult. But it's like I was saying before, I don't have to have that middleman anymore. So the musical ideas in my head go straight to the recording. It's not like I have to translate it through somebody else, and then it's where something might not come out as clear or get lost in the translation. So
Right.
this album is like pure. So I think I'm hoping everyone likes it.
Was it a
Right.
deliberate choice? Because you mentioned a couple minutes back that about dealings with record companies and being a little bit jaded with the business side of the industry. Was it a deliberate choice to do it this way? And is there more pressure doing it this way because because everything is kind of on you?
There is more pressure, and it is deliberate. We did have interest from a couple labels. The only thing I would is that I would appreciate more, or probably take real good advantage of, is promotion and distribution,
Yeah.
which is going to be something that I'm not looking forward to, because right now it's all the online campaign that I'm doing, the media. So, and thank you for doing what you do for the industry and
My
for
pleasure.
music.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm just a little independent podcaster, but I love to have the extreme metal musicians on here, man, because I know how tough it is. You know what I mean? Like, you're not out there making Taylor Swift type money. You know what I mean? It is a
Yeah.
hard road. You know what I mean? Like, you got to resort to selling CDs out of your trunk.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard nowadays. And I hear that sentiment echoed with a lot of musicians on here, that it's not easy. And I think people sometimes are under the illusion, if they've seen you up on a stage somewhere or they've read about you in a magazine, that maybe they're under the impression that you've got lots of money, or that, you somehow have made it. And that's not the case with a lot of musicians. You have
Right.
to be out there grinding and hustling, doing interviews, promoting, getting up on stages, playing the little clubs, and, going all over hell and back in a van or a bus, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And on this tour, well, the Destruction tour, there was 3 bands on the tour bus. So you got about 12 people on a
Yeah.
tour bus.
Yeah.
It could get a little overwhelming at
You're not out
times.
there. You're not out there living in the lap of luxury all the time. You know.
Yeah,
It's a tough. Yeah, it's tough humping up and down the road and putting yourself through that, and putting yourself in close quarters and living, uncomfortable for a month or two at a time. It's not easy. It's not easy.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
And so, you talked the album up, and it's going to be much more polished or whatever. Will die-hard Whiplash fans, like, I know we talked earlier about, you might alienate some of the fans who like the raw, unfiltered, not so polished sound. But, at the end of the day, will die-hard Whiplash fans who love what you've done in the past, will they embrace this album?
I'm pretty sure they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing I ever did, but that's coming from me. So,
Right.
I want to hear it coming from everyone else.
Yeah. Now, how soon do you think about, in today's musical environment, how soon do you think about the next project? Like, I know I just asked you, you obviously don't want it to be 16, 17 years before the next Whiplash album, but have you already started to write? Do you already start to think about the next project? Like, I know you said you might have something cooking like later on this year or whatever, but specifically for Whiplash, do you already start to go into writing mode, or do you already have stuff already kind of mapped out for the next project?
I'm not in writing mode now. Definitely preparing for this tour. I started, one of the new songs, the title track, Thrashquake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just starting to get that down. I've been working on it for like the last 3 days. to really get the lead tight and the song, and I still have to memorize like the third verse. But this song is going to be a little easier because I'm alternating vocal lines with the bass player.
Okay.
So I only have to memorize half of the lyrics. And
Right.
and like we were talking about at this age, that's probably one of the hardest things to do because
No
I'm losing.
question. No, I know. You're not.
You lose your memory. I have to forget something to make room to remember something else.
Right. Right. Got to push out something else it makes the room in there. And so the album drops when now? Remind people the album drops March
6th.
March 6th. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I sent you a promo. It's
Yes, you did.
60-second promo. I hope you like it.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been a fan for the longest. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I love everything that you guys do. And so before I let you out of here, if people want to get tapped in, I know we talked about social media at the beginning of the interview. If people want to get tapped in, they want to keep up to speed with what's going on, news, tour dates, anything like that. Where's the best place to check in with Whiplash?
We have the official whiplash.com is our home, but now it's whiplash_thrash on Instagram.
Okay.
And Whiplash on Facebook. Our Facebook does really, really well. So you can find us on Facebook also.
And do you like doing the social media thing, or do you kind of hand that responsibility off to somebody else? Because I know it kind of is a pivotal part of the business nowadays. You know, you got to have a presence somewhere on social media, it seems like nowadays.
You definitely do. I am doing most of it myself, like probably 80% of it at least.
Yeah.
And I also have a YouTube series coming out that I'm filming called Tony Portaro's Bloody Licks with Midnight.
Okay.
It's I transcribe my leads and then videotape my hands playing them left and right hand, and it has notation and tab, and it breaks it down into slower, and then a little faster, and then at the real tempo of the song. So, and I'm hoping that people use it as they play it, hopefully learn it exactly like I played it, and then use that to use their own interpretation of it to incorporate some of the stuff that I do into their own guitar leads and their own songs.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's cool.
I finished. Episode 1 is done, but I didn't post it yet. So I might post it while I'm on the road. I'm thinking in the first week or so, or maybe even sooner. So
yeah.
That should be coming out soon.
So
yeah, but I'm doing all of the online media stuff now, and I'm actually in the middle of preparing for this tour. Building the LED screen, the background video for the show, right? And halfway done with that. I got probably about 2 more days of work to finish up on that. But yeah, I'm learning all this new stuff now still, and incorporating it all into the media. And
yeah, I was gonna say, man, you really are juggling lots of jobs. Yeah, you are a busy guy.
Well, now that I don't have to dedicate 40 hours a week to, the telecom company.
Yeah.
I'm still working that many hours or more, but I don't have to leave home to do it, which is beneficial.
Yeah. Well, I think fans are going to be super excited, and so you've already told us 10 songs. You know how many minutes it's clocking in at. The new album will be titled Thrashquake.
Correct.
Okay. Drops March 6th, man. Listen, man, it was a really pleasure getting the chance to talk to you, man. Obviously, people can get tour dates, all that information on the website, and you guys hit the road when?
Tuesday, I fly out to New Jersey. That's 7 days from now.
Okay.
And our first show is in like 9 days on the 30th.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, great. Yeah, I wish you safe travels, man, and I really appreciate you doing this, man. It was really a pleasure. Keep in touch, man. When you get back off tour and you're ready to drop that big news, we'll get on here and we'll do it again, my friend. Keep in touch.
Okay. Thanks. I really, and I, like I said, thank you. I appreciate what you're doing for music business and for metal and for me and everyone else. Thanks. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Means
it.
a lot coming from a legend like you. Thank you so much. This was a real pleasure, man. We'll do it again soon, my friend. Thank you. And best of luck with
Great.
the album. Really looking forward to it.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Good talking to you, my friend.
You too. Take care.
Yep. There he goes, folks. The legendary Tony Portaro from Whiplash. Exciting that we are going to get a new Whiplash album in 2026. Thrashquake dropping in early March. That is great news. The fellas are getting ready to hit the road. So go out, check out where they're coming. If they're coming to a town near you, you know my spiel that I always give. I'm passionate about this music thing, especially these guys in the rock and metal and extreme metal world. They are out there grinding. They are out there hustling, humping up and down the road in vans and in tour buses, playing small clubs and, wherever they can possibly play. So be a good fan. Get out to a show, cop some merch, go to the Whiplash website. Get on a mailing list, sign up for a newsletter, whatever's available, man. Be a good fan. Cop the album when it comes out. If you're into the physical product, definitely go stream it. Again, Thrashquake dropping in early March. Whiplash, one of those bands that was at the forefront of thrash. Debut album came out in 1985, so it is 40 plus years old. They have been there since the inception of the genre. And really one of the great thrash metal bands of all time, hailing from our coast, the East Coast. The Bay Area gets a lot of the attention, and rightfully so. Legendary bands coming from there, man. But make no mistake, us East Coast, our East Coast scene is just fine. Anthrax, Overkill, Whiplash. We got bands over on this coast too, man, representing. So just want to get that out there as a proud upstate New Yorker. Not trying to start an East Coast, West Coast rivalry. This isn't Tupac versus Biggie or anything like that, or, whatever. But go out there, be a good fan, support the fellas. Like I said, they're about to hit the road. If they're coming to a town near you, don't miss them. You're going to get to see a legendary thrash metal band. And that's always great, man, when you can check that box off and say, hey, I got to see the legendary Whiplash. So again, big honor. First interview of 2026, Tony Portaro of Whiplash. I appreciate him at the end of the day coming on here and doing this. It's always utmost respect and appreciation for the guests. I can't do this without them. As much of a pleasure it is to look at me, that's not why you're here. You're here for these great interviews like the one we just put in the books with Tony from Whiplash. So be on the lookout for that new album, Thrashquake, dropping in early March. Keep your eyes and ears ready for it. So before I get out of here, I'll sum it up one more time and I'll go shameless promotion mode one more time for you guys. Tap in with us on Facebook. The handle is Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. Both of the podcasts. You'll get info on both shows on that Facebook page. Same handle on Instagram, Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. And of course, if you're here right now watching, this is where you really need to be. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and please make sure to smash that notification bell so you will be privy and in the loop when new episodes drop, and we bring you something new every single week. We've been on a little hiatus because, as I said at the top of the interview, before Tony joined us, I was out of the country in Mexico. Haven't had any new content up in a minute, and yet you guys are still subscribing. New viewers, new subscribers every day, discovering the channel, finding the episodes. So I know I put a lot of shine on appreciating the guests, but love you guys too, man. Everybody that's been supportive of this little independent podcast here. I appreciate each and every one of you, man. Thank you so much to the viewers and the subscribers. Every day I get on there and check the analytics. Maybe not every day. That's a little bit obsessive, but I am on there quite a bit, looking, checking, crunching the numbers, man. And it's just always moving in the right direction. Not leaps and bounds. Sometimes it's a slow trickle, but we're always going in the right direction, and it just motivates me to want to keep building on it. So we're off and running here in 2026. Already got one episode in the books. Lots of great stuff to come this year. I got lots of surprises, lots of great interviews I'm trying to run down, some tricks up the old sleeve. So stay tuned, man. Stay with us. Strap in. It's going to be another great year of both Off the Couch Boxing and Pod Scum. So I appreciate all you guys, man. And until we get together and do this thing, this is your boy Reckless Rex reminding you to take it easy and keep it sleazy.